Derek, you're hosting today, right?
Am I hosting
Why
the
not?
Good Batch podcast?
This
I
is
mean,
this
I'm
is your
online.
TV show, after all.
Yeah, I can. Well,
Yeah. Why don't we let you host today? It's fine.
okay. Well, hello everybody. I'm here to start the Great Civil War with my best friend, and this is going to be, I think, very fun for me, and I'm hoping it'll be very fun for you. And then I think Mike here too. And I don't know where you land on this, and that's what's exciting to me because
Yeah, I'm here.
I like nuance, I like differing opinions. It's exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're here to talk about Halo Episode 4, but in my opinion, I think we're really here to talk about because every time I try to get an opinion about the episode, people just obfuscate and go to a different point. I want to talk about Halo 4 and then the overall discussion of what is this show and who is it for and things like that. So I mean, we've kind of touched on it before, but now it's like, okay, I'm gonna be NATO defending Lil Ukraine here in this sense, and we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome, Aries, who I mean, you're the host of this podcast, but you're letting me like take over the flight controls today. Hello.
Reins. Taking the reins.
We're all hosts.
Yeah, there. And then we've got a Panda Mikey as well. I think you're streaming, right?
Yep.
Fantastic. Yeah. So that's it. Well, I've seen many of an opinion about this show. Many of them have been good faith, but a very, very loud majority of people, at least on Twitter and Reddit and in YouTube comments, of course, in the horrible sewer pits of human society, it's been really, really toxic and negative. And I decided, you know what? I'm gonna be Batman, and I'm gonna be vengeance for this show. So, yeah, I guess, how do you guys want to approach this? Do you want to go with the typical thing that we've been doing, or do you want to go with well, let's break down the episode? How do you want to go? You just want to start the discussion?
It's up to you.
I'm good either way.
We are driving today.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go. I want a question answered, sir. And I think I even asked both of your Twitter accounts. And you
reached out to me on Twitter?
No, sorry, this is to Aries. Yeah, this is to Aries. Oh, yeah, this is like, I mean, you're almost the referee here. Because I'm gonna lean into this controversy and I'm gonna clout chase. Because that's what I got accused of doing today. So it's like, oh, that's a good idea. I think I will do that. I think I will cause uproar and craziness. Because I think that maybe finally somebody will watch one of the three of our channels. I hope. So
let's go into this remembering we're all friends.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go.
Okay, good. All right, so my question is very simply this: of the 4 episodes so far, what is the letter grade that you would attribute to the show? I already have mine. Like I have mine.
That's you, Landon.
I mean, you could answer that as well, but
I will.
I'm more curious. Yeah.
I'd say a D.
Okay.
I'd say between a C plus and a B minus.
Okay.
Is where I'm at.
Okay, so if you go to my Twitter, folks, Prophet God, I have been very loud. I decided to join the Twitter brethren. Typically, I'm just a watcher. And I'll watch, and maybe I'll like a few things, maybe I'll retweet a few things with a joke or two. But typically, I don't engage with the Twitter people, because the Twitter people are really some of the worst human beings. And I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that I'm part of that. But I just know my evil, right? However, I was accused of clout chasing. And that didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me because clout chasing would be, you have an opinion, but because everybody else is saying this opinion, you don't say your real opinion. You just say the opinion of whatever people are saying, right?
Yeah, what everybody wants to hear, right?
I don't think either I or Aries are clout chasers. However, I was accused, and so I went, that's an interesting thing to say, of me, being that I have the average score of the entire series at a 77%, which is higher, I think, than Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's even lower than Nike's B minus. Like if you put 77% into a letter grade, I think it's like a C plus. It's probably right within that range.
C plus.
So I'm not sure how it's clout chasing if I'm not like
Is that what
without.
we're here? Is that what we're here for? Is like the discussing?
That's the one question that you neglected to answer, but I want to answer it
Okay,
because
I'll
I
answer
don't
it real quick.
understand. Yeah,
I'll answer it real quick.
To me, it wasn't a real argument. It was.
Hold on. What, you might have to go over your definition again, because when I hear clout chasing, it's jumping on a trend just so that you become popular, right? I.e., everyone is crapping on this TV show, so then you would jump on the train and start crapping on it. You're clout chasing because you want people to hear your opinion, even though you might not agree with it 100%. Am I understanding that correctly?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
So my contention is I'm not quite sure if I give it a 77, if I'm the one clout chasing. And I don't think Aries is either, but there's an awful lot of people out there who have not read the books. They've only played the games. They're pretending that they know a lot about Halo lore. But the more I read and watch YouTube videos from people who have read the books, I go, oh shoot, this is from the books. Oh shoot, this is from the game. Interesting. So it seems like these people who are going, it's pure garbage, it's trash, it's awful, fuck this show, I hate these people, fuck them, I hate Chief, I hate him, I hate this guy, he's dumb, he's stupid, ass, why do I have to see an ass, where's Cortana's tits? Like, these people to me are neckbeard, I'm gonna Ben Shapiro hard right now, insipid, bad people. I almost said something really dehumanizing. Bad people. I think these are bad people. So simply because I don't think that they have their own opinion. I think that they are just reading what's really popular to say online and then parroting a lot of it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they just, maybe they're video game people and they just don't understand television. I don't know. So I kind of want to get down to the bottom of it.
So let's hone this back in. What was your question to Landon?
What is the letter grade? Right, so he said D, right, which is like 60.
That was the question. Oh, okay, then it's been answered.
Right, so I got my answer, which is fantastic. So we're not too far off. However, all of the rhetoric from you, Lando, is in support of people who are saying this is garbage, 0 out of 10, fuck 343. I hate this. These people suck. And you said you're just as bad on the other side, and I went just as bad.
My house is cold.
And then I kept asking that question because I was like, how do you come to that I am just as bad as the neckbeards?
I'm gonna tap for a second.
Go for it.
I've been messing with you all day, dude.
Me too. It's been in jest because I know that me and you are cool.
I've been messing with you all day. There's a little bit of truth in what I've been saying. I don't think you're a cloud chaser at all. Like that's the irony. That's like the opposite of what you've been doing. But at the same time, like, your tweets have been going very hard on these people that hate this show. And it does make me laugh because it is the opposite side of the spectrum where I find that ironic.
I gotta do
at
some
the same time,
arm
like,
waving.
I've been messing with you all
I
day.
think I'm good.
So you do like the show?
No, I don't like the show, but that doesn't mean that I don't acknowledge that some people might like the show. We'll talk about how I feel about the show in general.
Okay.
Eventually.
Well, should we just get to like the general review then?
I think we should just talk about the show, yeah, because I think it will all come out.
Okay, let's get to the review. Basically, this is a show that's split up in 3 parts on 3 different planets: Reach, Aridinus, Magical. And I thought, pound for pound, this was a solid episode of TV. There was maybe pros, like you could say the pros of the show is a technical wonder. It's the story of John rather than the story of Master Chief, which is something that Halo fans really haven't dwelled into much from what I can hear and see from what I've seen. We get more Spartans with more personality, which is, I think, a good thing. It's what I liked about the ODST game. I think it's just good TV. Here's the cons of the show from my end. Quan Ha has not become a character that I think is a good character. I think she's really annoying. And I think that she is not smart. And I really, really, really like Soren, and I'm worried for him. Uh, there needs to be more action, and oh man. Oh, and I crossed this one out because this used to be a complaint of mine that the show has since fixed, is that there's bad humans and they're breaking lore. I don't think that they're breaking lore too bad to say that this is not Halo. I think that it's a pretty fair assumption. And I think that they have added quite a few human characters to cheer for. So that would be my main contention. Now, this episode in particular, I thought was really well done in terms of like pacing and things. I wasn't bored at all. I think I smiled throughout 98% of it. I think there was only a few times when I went, "Stop, get out of here." But overall, I really enjoyed the episode, and that would be like my opening statement. Amber, do you want to go?
Do I want to go? Sure,
Yeah,
I
go
can
ahead,
go.
Land.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Whoever's writing the show really likes ass. They love ass. Like no other nudity but ass. We get lots of ass, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a good thing. But I have noticed there's a lot of ass in this show just for the sake of ass. For example, they have a chip in their ass. Why is it in their ass? I think it's for the sake of having ass on the TV screen. Uh, I find that interesting. Also, cigar scene in the pool, ass. Just lots of ass.
What a
We're
girl.
probably gonna get some Cortana ass. We're not gonna get Cortana tits. That's not happening. But the ass is real in this show. That's my opening statement.
Okay. And
Uh here's my take. I thought it was a very mediocre episode. I was not entertained. But this is me, my opinion. I don't think the episode in general is this way, but me as a viewer, it was very middle of the ground. I'm getting tired of exposition because I know what Halo is. I don't think they're doing John bad. I don't think they're doing the Spartans bad, but yeah, Quan, I have completely checked out, which unfortunately ties Soren. Like Soren is the only redeeming factor whenever they switch to Quan, because I can't anymore with Madrigal. I don't care. Like I just at this point I want the Covenant to show up and glass that planet so we can move on with our lives. I don't know why we're focusing on the insurrectionists at all, but there's a story to be told there, and they're clearly they want to tell that story with the insurrectionists. Loved is too hard of a word. I enjoyed the scenes with John and having, like you said, this is John's story, not Master Chief. A little bit of backstory so that more of a general audience can fall in love with this character. I thought it was fine. I thought his journey on Eridanus was entertaining. I would have much rather had 15 more minutes there and continuing his storyline than the 30 minutes. I swear it's probably not that long, but the Quan story. I'm over it. I'm excited to see not Halsey. What's her face? Miranda Keys working with the other Spartans, possibly causing contention. I mean, it will with Halsey for sure, but maybe causing contention between the chief and the rest of his Spartans, because now half of them have a chip and half of them don't. But I'm over exposition. There wasn't a lot of hot media in this episode. It's a very cool media episode. You didn't get a lot of action. You just got a lot of like setup and backstory, which can work, but it just didn't for me.
right. I think
I'm actually ready to give my take
go for
for
it.
real.
Yeah, go for
Um,
it. Wait, for
I
real? What?
For real, yeah. No,
What do you mean for real?
the ass talk was a joke, but it's also true. Like whoever's
Wait,
writing the
wait. Is
show
it a
really
joke or
likes
is it
that.
true?
It is true, but like I want to give my actual like legit take. I think that's only
Okay,
fair.
go ahead.
I actually second Mikey almost in every aspect. I think this show is boring. Um, I understand that this isn't the Halo that I want it to be, and I've accepted that. The other thing I want to point out though is I don't feel like this is Master Chief at all. I don't. I'm not saying that Pablo Schreiber is not a good actor. I think he's fantastic. I love when he's on screen. I kind of wish that they would have done a different Spartan and a different story and a different timeline because it's not Master Chief at all. Uh, there's I don't know. There's so much change. There's so much difference and it's not necessarily all bad, but like I just when I compare a character that is from the the video games, the books, I don't get a lot of uh correlation between these two characters. They're very, very, very different. And like I said, not necessarily all negative. He's probably the only reason I'm coming back to the show at this point. Also, just I'm really interested to see where they're going. But yeah, they're making a giant mistake with Kwan. I'm not saying the actress is bad. I think she does the best with what she is given. But that storyline, that plot is so dumb and so pointless that it doesn't even matter. They're setting up circumstances that shouldn't matter because this whole universe is based on humans versus aliens. Plain simple, the survival of humanity. They
Mhm.
have not established the covenant as a threat at all. Uh, I mean, like as a threat. I mean, they're there. They are doing stuff, but it's not. I don't feel like there's any danger. I don't feel like there's any weight. It's interesting to see what they're doing, but I don't necessarily agree with the directions they are going because either they're like sprinting in some scenes or they're turtle walking in other scenes when it comes to like the narrative of where they're trying to go. Um I'm trying to be more positive. That is my goal. So I am trying to be more positive with this show. I'll talk about the positivities. Uh the Spartans are fine. I'm actually enjoying them, seeing some personality, even though like there's some things about them that I really can't stand. But the best scene in this entire episode was with Kai talking about a needler. Great scene. I love that scene. Very fun. Very Halo. I imagine Spartans find joy in watching their targets explode in pink mist. That's something that I would expect a Spartan to talk about. Um, Another positive aspect I will say is Dr. Halsey's right on point. She's great. Actress is great. Cortana's growing on me as well. I know we didn't really see her in this episode, but just thinking and reflecting back on her, I'm enjoying how they are doing it. Especially like with doing CGI instead of like a person. I feel like that actually fits. Um, Pablo Schreiber, great actor. He's doing great. I think all the actors are somewhat fine, but like I said, this show, just the arcs that they're going in, I don't find very appealing. I don't find very interesting. Um, I think that uh, Chief, I actually am going to point at something out that you talked about, Derek, that I actually did like a lot. Because one thing that I had a huge issue with this entire episode is Chief doesn't like wearing his helmet. I mean, he must like get itchy beard or something. But then you pointed out on Twitter that, oh, well, he was suffocated at one point, and he's like, well, I don't really want that to happen again, so I'm not going to have my helmet on. If they would have actually established that in this episode, I would have loved that,
I
but
would
they
argue that
didn't.
they did. I would argue
Mm,
that they did.
they really
I'd
did.
be curious of your
Okay, and
arguments of how
and
they
you
happened.
you can talk about that,
Okay.
how you think that they did, but um, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this chip idea of them all just being chipped. I like the idea more that they were indoctrinated, and over time, they make choices for themselves. I don't like Robotrons taking out their chips and now they're human. I think that's kind of bad writing. Also takes away from like a lot of growing and overcoming those things. It's not really an arc that is earned because we're seeing it with Kai, we're seeing it with Chief. Chief is like on drugs at this point when it comes to like he just is he it's there's so much going on that he's overwhelmed. Kai, on the other hand, like she's happy go lucky, she's loving it, loving life. She has, this chip out. It's weird to compare the two. I don't know if I'm like nitpicking too much, but I thought that was kind of weird how different they're reacting. But if we are going to go with this story that they are writing, I think that in some aspects they need to speed up and in other aspects they really need to slow down. Uh last point I will say is I really really don't feel like the Covenant are established very well in this universe. It's I'm trying to look at this TV show as someone that doesn't know anything about Halo. I'd just be like, oh, there's some aliens out there and they're doing stuff. Okay, that's cool. Nah, it's not really what Halo is. Halo is a fight for humanity, a fight for survival, and they're not really showing that at all. I also did notice one
Yet.
one thing I want to point out that I thought was kind of weird because I don't think that they have established the Halos themselves. Kai actually mentions a Halo, and I don't know where she would have heard that. You know, because I don't think humanity knows about Halos yet. I don't know if that's like a
They don't have
mistake
angels.
or her just saying like, "Oh, well, it's a Halo because it looks like a Halo," or like an actual ring. Um, I don't know. That's
Okay.
another thing I
Some
noticed.
some conjecture to that point is they talk about sacred ring, and another word for a sacred ring would be a halo.
Sure, that's fair.
And I
But
mean, that's the translating scene, right? Like where she's translating Sing Healy.
yeah, that's fair. I thought that was a little on the nose. Um, yeah, I'm just bored. I'm really bored with this show. I feel like every episode is kind of filler. Quan's storyline sucks. Master Chief's storyline is not really what I wanted to see. I will point out that if Derek, I'm not sure if you have seen these, but there's Halo ODST, which is a very short film that was
Mhm.
made for the game of ODST. I recommend you to go watch that if you haven't, or Halo
Mhm.
Landfall, which is a short film that I believe was originally going to be the Halo movie that was based off of Halo 3, and it might have been like a promotion for Halo 3. Go watch both of those. Those are Halo. Those are good. Those make me feel like, oh, I am in the Halo universe. This isn't the
Tell me
Halo
why. Tell me
universe.
why. What's the big difference?
I well, for one, there's a lot more combat. There's a
Okay.
lot more
Yeah.
combat.
Okay.
Two, I don't know. It's just like I feel like there's so much exposition in this show
Mhm.
that I feel like I'm watching a
My
drama
house is
rather than an
cold. What is
action
going
show,
on?
and
Sorry,
it's
I
boring.
just talked
I'm
over.
very, very bored.
3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you have like 6 points that I wanted to kind of combat there. And
Yeah.
I'll kind of go in reverse order. So you had
Can
just
I
said
can I
that,
make one more point? Sorry. This
yeah,
is a very
yeah,
important
go for
point.
it. Yeah, I got space in my notebook.
This is the only thing I absolutely hated about the episode. And this is just more of a individual
Quan.
thing, I'm sure. But I'm not a big fan of Master Chief without a helmet with a shovel at his home. It felt weird. It felt really weird just seeing him dig a hole. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't
Okay,
like it.
okay. All right,
4
so
episodes in, helmet off with a shovel. I don't know. Don't like it.
okay. Oh man, I wonder if I want to. I might have to cover ground twice here, and then I'll cut to you, Mikey, and we'll see if you have anything to like add on. But I just wanted to kind of address all those points. Um, okay,
That
so
was
I
all
wrote
my
down.
negative stuff. There are
Yeah,
positive
yeah, yeah.
things I will say too,
Yeah,
but
of
you
course,
can go
of
ahead. You
course.
can go ahead.
I mean, we agree on the positives, right? Like
I
everybody
didn't really
agrees on the
talk about
positives.
a lot of the positives I actually wanted to talk about. I'll say them real briefly. The writing's okay from like a TV perspective. Like it's fine, but it just
But the
like I said,
arcs aren't.
none of the actors are fine. It just
No, the arcs you said.
Arcs. Story arcs.
maybe I don't know if I'm doing myself justice by saying that.
Right.
It's just like where they're going is boring to me. The way they're choosing to use their time for a Halo TV show is boring to me.
Mhm.
Um,
Would it be fair
it's
to say that you want more action?
yeah, I definitely want more action, but I also just want more better writing. I guess I don't know. I think a lot of the writing's kind of
Well, the
lazy.
writings, but you just said the writing was pretty good.
It's okay at points. Like there's some points. Like
I agree
let
with
me
you. I
give
think it's
you
a jumbled mess. Like some
let
of it's
me
really, really
okay.
good, and some of it's really,
That's
really bad.
how
I agree with you.
that's how I feel exactly. That's my verdict is not great, but not terrible. It's
Right.
just meh.
And that would be great and fine and a perfectly nuanced thing, but that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing it's garbage, it's trash, I'm bored, I hate it, it's awful, it's stupid, it's dumb, it's lazy, I hate them. They're not That's not Master Chief. That's not what he shouldn't do this. He shouldn't be looking like this. He shouldn't act like this. But
I
then I
talked
go
about
into
positives
like
though too.
Well, no,
You're
I know, but that's not what I hear. All right. Is there anything else to cover in this
That's
episode?
Ted Lasso.
Is there anything we missed? I
Yes,
was
there
gonna.
actually is some stuff I actually
I want to
genuinely do want to
defend
cover.
Quan Ha in a second if I can.
That's
But if
that's
you want
where
to,
we're going. I'm going to interview you for a second regarding the show. We're resetting the clock, so to speak. Like we're good. Okay. I'm
now
not.
that we've had our little tussle,
Yep.
right?
Okay,
We're
so
good.
this is genuine questions, okay? I'm not insinuating. I'm genuinely curious because I have been watching today you defend this. So
Uh,
I would like you to defend this and I this isn't coming from I'm just
you're
interviewing
good.
you.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm.
And
Yeah.
like
You're
I
just.
want Mikey to be a part of this too. What did you rate? Did you say this was an 8 out of 10?
I said this was a 9, and then I
9
went
out of
back
10.
and I said I might
Okay.
bump it up
So
because I need
so
to look at the other 2 episodes that I rated 9.2s this year in how I'm objectively trying to view my TV shows all this year. I'm trying
so
to go with a half 5, half 5. I said it's a 9. I might bump it up. I reviewed. Nah, I think it's just a 9.
So I would love, and I know how you like, and you can say for yourself. How do you rate things?
Okay, so I've got here's how you should probably interpret my ratings. All right. Because the way Angry Joe and them do their stuff, it seemingly a bad thing is a 2 for them. To me, that's god awful. That's like bad. That's like high school theater shit. A 2 out of
Is
10
is
is
is a
awful.
10 like perfect for you?
I
10
hope
is
there
like
aren't any
Breaking
students
Bad.
watching this.
10 is like Dark Knight. 10, that's like a 10 to me. In TV, it kind of works a little bit different, and in different genres, it shifts a little bit. But for the most part, here's how I do it. The first 5 stars, or the first 5 possible points, is technical aspect. How does the show look? How does the armor look? Does it look like Master Chief? Good. Is it practical or CGI? Is it good practical? Good CGI? Or is it bad practical, bad CGI? I rate that on a technical basis. Last night's episode, besides the helmet, I thought looked fucking amazing. The assassin jumps out the window and does the most amazing practical stunt work I've seen in a TV show in a very long time. We're not seeing CGI monster fight another CGI monster. We're actually getting sets with people and big, expansive sets with
Okay.
big, expansive characters. Technical aspect, I think it's a 4.5 out of 5 possible points there. My second 5 is about plot and my overall enjoyment. My plot, pretty solid. Even the Quan Ha stuff. I'm even going to defend her in this because I
Hey,
think it's the first episode, she says she's going through slip space and she's never done that before, and she goes, "Oh, it's beautiful," and then Chief goes, "Nah, well, actually, it's this," and she goes, "You're ruining it," or maybe it was the second episode. And then in this one, at the very beginning, we get awesome dialogue of him again just wondrously looking, and maybe they're doing a little bit too much of it and they're just padding it out, and they're doing a lot of that of him looking around and feeling and remembering and stuff. I can see that complaint. That's a valid critique. However, I enjoyed it, so my rating is going to go higher. He repeats Quan Ha's line, so I think her purpose is there to be the human inspiration of Chief, to go, oh, okay, this is how we get to know John, is through Quan Ha. His connection to her is how he's going to fully realize himself as a humanized character. And we're going
did
to see it
you
spread through the rest of the Spartans. So I was like, good, I can see where they're going with the TV show. I loved this episode. I was not bored. 9 out of 10. But you
okay,
guys should
okay.
take it and
I
divide it by half and go 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5 stars. That's how you guys should interpret all of my stuff, is just divide it in half and call it 4 out of 5, because most people do not judge it on the technical aspect. They only go, did I like it or not? Go ahead.
okay. Okay, that was very long.
I had to be
But
specific. Like, I know
okay,
I'm
okay, that's
trying to
fine.
do it very
That's fine.
objectively.
That's
Go
fine.
ahead.
I thought you said at the beginning of this episode though, you hate Quan. You hate everything about her.
I
She's
don't
terrible.
say everything. I don't do that.
Okay, you don't like her. She's garbage. Plot line.
I didn't say that. I said I'm not interested in it. It's the weakest thing. It's just not for me. I would much rather see the aliens, but I understand why they're doing it. She hasn't won me over yet. That's what I said.
Okay, that's not what I recall. But now moving forward, that's what you're saying. Okay, I'll stick to that. Um, so you do like the Quan plot line.
It's better than average. It's not a bad storyline. It's just not anything I haven't seen before. And I think I agree with a lot of people in saying that I think she's a little bit silly. The plot, whoever is writing her plot line, I think is like not seeing the other 2 plot lines and meshing up very well. The
No,
Quan stuff bugs me.
James, you
But in
watching the
this
Halo
episode,
TV
it
show?
was cured by
Do
the
you like
Soren stuff
Halo?
because he made me laugh and I was entertained.
okay, so I guess my question then is where is your
I hope you're
-1
trolling
coming
with that.
from?
And if you honestly
Soren's
believe that, that's
silly,
great.
ridiculous hat, and then Quan Ha going, "Oh, that's a big wanted poster of me. I'm gonna take my hood off and go nuts and yell and scream and go to the funeral where they're very likely like she's just a badly written character.
Yeah.
She does dumb things.
Are you
Maybe
watching
they'll
it?
have a purpose for it later on, and I'll come
we'll
back and I'll
see.
change
Yeah, I
my
would
opinion of
say
it.
if you
But right
aren't
now,
watching it
she is a
weekly,
nuisance.
wait
We need
till it's
Carl
all
stay in the
released.
fucking house. You're messing shit up but not because of the show, because of the plot. There's no reason for her to be as crazy as she is right now, unless later episodes they bring it back and it's something. We have to get to the
Okay.
episodes first, right?
Okay, so your rating is 9 out of 10, almost
Yeah,
flawless.
this episode, almost flawless. Yep. And here's another thing. I might have been emotionally biased a little bit, and here's why. There's one specific scene that damn near made me cry about my dad, which I don't do that. I don't do that. And if a show is able to do that, that's crazy. Pablo Schreiber, he is a fan-fucking-tastic Master Chief. All right, fan-fucking-tastic, in my opinion, from a TV perspective, because the first 2 episodes had to be saddled with not emoting, and he was shit on for that. That's not Master Chief. Why do you take his helmet off? But there's like great reasons not to. So I was like, okay, well, how is he acting as Chief? And then when he took his pill out, I went, oh, I see why they made him so robotic before, because that was the point, to keep him robotic. And now Kai did it in this episode, and he specifically has a wonderful scene of him in his house where he's looking around, and then Cortana's like, well, Chief, I'm going to help you out. And you see a broken, disgusting house, and then an artificial artificial reality, whatever, augmented reality pops up on his visor, so he has to put his helmet on to do
A
that, as he
virtual
needs
reality
it.
is the word you're looking for.
Right, but I think Cortana's able to make it augmented as well. I don't, yeah, maybe virtual is what I'm looking for. But she does that, but she can't do it all, so he has to go into his head and unlock the memories, right? So that's really good. So the memory is of him drawing, and he kneels down and he looks at what he's drawing, and weirdly they looked like vaginas. I was a little concerned that maybe the kid was. That's it. Go watch my reaction. I was like, oh, what are you drawing? What, like, if I'm his dad, I'm going, son, what are we drawing here? Because it's a little weird. There's, hey, at least he found
Look
it.
how
all
it
right?
goes inside of it, see?
At least he found the keystone and he was touching it, okay? So there's that. By the way, it's too late, but happy 11/11. So that's the scene that almost made me cry, because then he turns around and he sees his dad doing cool things and he's like, "Oh, I had a dad." And it made me think of, "Oh, I have a dad, or I had a dad as well." And he remembered a specific memory, and it triggered me in remembering a specific memory, and I went, "That's fucking magical." That's why I watch TV shows, to feel that connection from Master Chief and his feelings about his parents to me and my feelings about mine. That's a beautiful thing. That's why I watch the show. I'm not watching to see people get blown up. I don't want to see like a grunt battle or whatever. Like, I do, of course, but really why I watch TV is for those big emotional moments. And I mean, I can't believe that some of these people didn't hear that Halo theme when she said Sacred Halo and didn't get like a chill in their spine, because they know that when Halo comes around, you actually see it. That music is coming in, it's coming in hard, and it's going to be so fucking euphoric. That's why maybe I'm a little biased on this episode, but I'm okay to be biased on an episode if I liked it more than others. I like Cats. I understand Cats is garbage. I get that, but I liked it, so I'm going to rate it higher. I gave that a 9 out of 10 too. That's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. It's just my emotional pull to that at that time. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I just was asking your rating.
Right. Yeah, it was just I could have it elevated, but I think the overall show is about a 77. I hope the rest of it gets good. Like, in terms of like Breaking Bad level of good,
Oh,
I just don't see it happening. To me, it seems like a stream show, like a
Too
Netflix show,
late.
like a Witcher, where it's like very popular, but it's just okay. Stranger Things has always been overrated to me. People are really excited. I'm actually really excited after the trailer, because it's like, oh, this looks different, and I'm okay with different. So it's like, okay, all right, I'll watch it, and maybe I won't,
The one thing I
just
will
feel indifferent
say,
to it.
the
Go
one
ahead.
thing I will say, that I feel like needs to be said
Mhm.
is because we have been talking a lot about people attacking people on social media, and it's not okay to do that.
Okay.
I would say the same thing for people that aren't attacking anyone that do not enjoy the show. They shouldn't be attacked as well because I've actually seen them attacked as well. Uh, Maybe not as crazy as the people that you've been talking about. But I do think just throwing it out there, anyone hearing this, everyone should just be kind to each other, regardless of how they feel about something. Some people are going to enjoy something, some people are not, and that's okay. Um, I That's cool that you are a 9 out of 10. You actually kind of got me a little pumped. I'm hoping this show does turn around for me, specifically. Talking just in my opinion about me. I
Your
do hope.
emotional boner didn't at least get a little bit hard when she picked up that needler?
A
You know what I
little bit,
mean?
a
Like,
little
you're
bit.
like, "Oh, shit, here we go. Now
I
this is what
told
I
you
came
that
for."
I did already say that was my favorite scene in this episode.
Right, yeah, when I asked the question, I had not remembered, but as you were speaking, I was like, "Oh, yeah, you did say that." But you know what I'm seeing, right? You felt that, and you were like, "Ooh, yes. Yes, that's what I want. That's what I
Yeah,
want."
I
Yeah.
want more of that.
That
I
was
do
my
really want
original
that.
post. That was
And
my
so,
original post, was, "I want more of this Halo, please."
yes. So with me, I liked that scene. Yes, I want more of that kind of stuff. I'm not exactly thrilled with the writing of what they are doing. I'm going to watch it. There are some redeeming qualities, like I have said. I like Halo. I like it enough to watch this show, regardless of how you might perceive that. But I am going to continue watching the show because I am enjoying and hoping that I will like this show more and more because I do. I have liked the last two episodes more than the second episode. I really, really, really didn't like the second episode. There were some
Neither did
things about
I.
the first episode that I didn't like as well. But if we can get to like a point, just talking about me once again, uh, of the things that I have seen in this show that are good, yeah, like I'm excited. With like what you just said, it does
Mhm.
excite me to see the potential of this show. They're not there yet. I think people have been very, very hard on it. And yes, they are building and they are taking their time doing that. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. Sometimes it takes time to build these things. And this is a TV show and they are doing TV things, and TV things include drama. And people have to accept that TV shows are going to have drama. It can't just be Master Chief killing Covenant. That's not what this is. Um, I'm still not there yet personally. I'm going to give this episode a 6 out of 10. There were things I liked about it. There were some things I didn't like about it. It's not the worst. It's not the best. I want more. I really want more. I'm craving Halo. I want them to give me Halo, and I'm getting a little bit of that. And like what you said, that scene, that's more of the stuff that I want to see. I really have enjoyed the Spartans. They're really neat. Master Chief, despite being written very different storyline and stuff, it
And I'll
is
acknowledge that,
intriguing
he's
that
different.
scene was really nice. I enjoyed him having kind of a euphoric psychedelic experience. That's really cool to me. I did like that. And I actually, my second, if not favorite scene, probably tied, was Halsey talking to little John, um little John, talking to the young John, uh doing the coin flip. I really
Riding
like that
Little
because that is a
John on
flashback
through the
for people like
forest.
me who have read the books. I'm like, oh, I recognize that. That was my Leonardo DiCaprio moment of pointing at the TV
Mm.
with my drink in my hand. I liked that scene a lot. Very, very good. It's just I hope that we can start rolling the ball a little bit more because it has kind of felt a little slow.
Mhm.
And I am getting more excited, but I hope at the same time, like I have a lot of like holdback too, because there are some things I just really have not enjoyed about this show, and so I'm not getting my hopes too up. But do I think this show is absolutely garbage? No. Do I think that this show has potential? Yes. I am hopeful that they will get there. Pablo Schreiber, I don't know how to pronounce his last name either.
Yeah, I have to look up them.
Is awesome. He is really good. I've enjoyed every single scene with him in it, despite if I feel like he is a chief at some points or at not some points. He is really, really fun to watch. I do like him as a Spartan. I'm sold that he is a Spartan. Am I sold as like the Master Chief? Mm, Not really, but like this is a different depiction of him, and I will accept that. Yeah, let's see
Can
what
I
they
offer
have
an
to
olive
do.
branch?
Okay.
Okay, because I've been hitting on this maybe for the past couple weeks. I think both on Moon Knight and this. I really think a lot of this could have been avoided, and I said this at the beginning. I'll kind of repeat it, and then I'm going to say something that I want to move it over to Mikey to see if there's like something about the episode that he really liked. But I really feel like this is the fault of corporate means or corporate like, well, we need Quan
Agreed.
Ha in there because we need to write this story in there. And then the Halo people are like, well, but we're going to move to the Covenant, and they're like, yeah, but we can't give you that much money. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's a lot of real world stuff happening. The reason why Quan Ha's in it. It could be because she's Asian and we need to get an Asian in there. They could just be checking a box. I don't know. I'm not in those meetings. If that's the
Yeah.
case, that's shitty. But right now it's just whatever, right?
I don't.
I'm grateful that this conversation was more about like me and you and less about the show is bad because it's woke. We didn't talk about like Kai being a strong independent woman and doing that. Like that's not what the conversation is about right now on Twitter. And I'm a little bit grateful for that because right now those ones are to me are more offensive in a weird way than the complete shitting on stuff that I've been talking about with like the whole neckbeards. To me, like that stuff is like, all right, when it happens, sure, but it's clearly not happening here. So I'm super grateful about that. That there are valid critiques to this being said, rather than the invalid critiques that you typically hear of these popular shows like this. And then I just want to move it over to Mikey because Mikey hasn't. I mean, me and you talk a whole hell of a lot. Mikey, is there anything that you specifically didn't like, or you specifically liked that we did not cover, or that we did cover that you want to
I
brush up on?
I think I've stated. I can't think of anything I haven't said about the episode. Yeah, for me this was a 6 as well. I'm still hopeful and I am excited still for next week's episode. So I haven't been lost. Like the show hasn't lost me. I think there is like a lot of valid, good Halo to be found here, but not a lot of action. So if you're looking for action, maybe wait a couple more weeks, have a couple more episodes come out, and then you can enjoy it in a more well-paced rate, I would say, because then the exposition won't feel nearly as hard as watching an episode and then waiting an entire week until you get to see the playoff. And what I remember what I was going to say. Last week's episode, I left off saying I feel like I am being edged, and it's a little graphic, right? Like
No,
I'm
that's
continuing to still be edged, right? Like I'm waiting for that payoff. And so when they eventually show me the scenes that are supposed to be the payoff, I'm really hoping to give it a 10 out of 10, right? But we're not there yet, and it's annoying. It's annoying. It's something I'm not completely used to be honest, but it is what it is. It's what we have here, and yeah, if
Can I ask a personal question of you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you talk to more people than I do.
Okay.
We have a mutual friend, Aaron.
Yep.
Does he watch the show?
No.
Does he have an opinion on the show?
Yes, I would say he falls pretty close in that camp of neckbeards, the Halo purists who just won't watch it because it's not Halo to them.
Yeah. To me, those are my true enemies, right? I'm curious. Is there anyone else that you've talked to that had like an opinion of the show that's
so
slightly different or something?
Slightly different. So I would say so.
Or the same. That's fine too.
Back it up. I watched this with my brothers. They range from 24 to 34. Okay, they all have played Halo growing up, but they don't watch nearly as much as I do, and are nowhere close to any of Derek or Landon. But they are enjoying it. That being said, there's a lot of aspects. Not a lot. the exposition aspects they do not enjoy. My brother Steve is very like, okay, come on, another like I don't have a lot of time to watch TV, and so when I sit down and watch a 50-minute exposition, it rubs him wrong that in that sense. They don't have as much time on their hand to watch TV as we do, and so when the exposition comes across, that's just Steve. The rest of them, they're like, yeah, it's fine. I'll watch it next week. I'm excited. They're not super turned off by it. They're also not super turned on by it. But my brother Tyler had a raging boner for episode 1 in that battle scene, and I think he's watched it like 20 times. You know what I mean? Like, and that's who he is, and he's fun. He's fun and annoying to watch TV with because he makes comments as it goes, and like I can tell when he's enjoying it, and I can tell when he's just casual because he makes like oh badass or oh sick, just comments like that as we go. So yeah, I would say I watch it with a general audience than like with a fanboy audience, and from what I'm witnessing of all my brothers, they're enjoying it.
Do you know if he has seen Landfall or the ODST short?
No, none of them have watched those little snippets and
You
clips.
should let them watch it. 10 minutes of their life for both.
Yeah.
In total.
Yeah.
I really recommend it. And Derek, if you haven't seen it, you should really watch them. They're really good.
Sorry, playing Fortnite. The first episode
It's
was dope.
likely that I
The
will.
CGI was donkey
Before
balls.
this
Yeah,
show,
I don't
give a
appreciate the military
fuck
drama it's turned
about how
into.
Spartans were made.
No one cares about
Cortana,
Quan or my
Halsey,
toddler. Yeah,
Captain Keys, like really any of that.
Yeah,
I think the only thing
we
about Keys that I
berated
remember
Quan
reacting
earlier
to
on.
when I played the games last year sometime was going, I actually like this character, and then I think they killed her. I'm pretty sure she got sorted or something.
Yeah,
and I
episode
went,
3,
that's
or
bullshit.
Halo
I was
3.
like, God damn it, I like this character. I was like pretty upset because she actually had won me over. Or maybe she was doing something silly, and I was like, you're gonna get yourself killed. But ultimately, I remember liking the character, and I was upset that she had been deaded, right? But I mean, to answer a question that was brought up earlier, I watch a lot of other people's reactions and reviews, not to reaffirm or deny my opinions. For the most part, it's to go, am I different than them? Why? Why am I different than them? If I loved this episode, and I saw a tweet by Angry Joe today, I can't wait for his review, that he had a gif of like someone being like disappointed and bored. I'm assuming his point is going to be pretty close to like Mikey and yours, Aries, that it was just too slow. They're expecting more action. But to me, it's like, that's great. I think it's more of a fault of the company that is platforming. It's more of a fault of Paramount. But a lot of the fan bases of these reviews and people who have crazy big amounts of people are going, no, the show's just bad. And it's like, I mean, it's not great right now, but we've seen 4 out of 9 episodes. We haven't we've seen the trailer. We've seen a few of those shots that they haven't done yet that are like, oh shit, when that happens, oh my God, that's going to be good.
Is there? That's what I was going to ask.
Solid.
I don't remember. Like, I just need to go watch the trailer, but I feel like we've seen everything in the trailer at this point.
So there's one specific thing that I remember from the trailer that is really guiding my predictions. And this was like from the offset. I went, oh, okay. So after the first episode, I was like, I think you guys had said, oh, they're going to go hunt Chief down. They're going to be with Halsey. And I was like, I really don't think so. I remember one of the coolest scenes, and I forget what song was playing, but it was an awesome song at the Super Bowl.
In the air.
I was like, oh shit, yeah, I could feel it. And at the very end, you see him like Mission Impossible jump out of the sky with like a whole group. They could have been ODSTs or Spartans. I'm assuming that that's the rest of his team. So I'm pretty certain that we're going to be seeing the rest of the Spartans touch their stones, awaken, or maybe they don't remove their stones, but they just follow his orders in some way. But I don't think that they're going to be negative to Chief. I think they're going to be very much on his team.
I hope there's ODSTs. I love ODSTs.
Sure, eventually. Yeah.
The best part.
Go ahead.
Oh, the best part is there's more to come.
Yeah,
this isn't the last episode. There's
I'm being edged.
There's more to come.
I'm being edged for the grunts. I need to see a grunt.
And I will add this in this episode. A thing that made me a little upset is the Covenant is not in it at all. They just we're gonna forget about High Charity and the entire storyline that's going on over there. So, episode 5, please, do some justice and bring the cool aliens back. I'm sick of the humans.
It's in desperate need for Covenant. It really is. People like Halo because of Covenant and humans.
The sci-fi aspect,
the sci-fi. We need grunts. You can't just tease grunts.
Yeah, I mean,
talk about how they squeal when they die.
Yeah, yeah. I guess there was. Okay, I take that back. There is Covenant in it. There's Dead Elites and Dead Hunters, but it's not like
Photoshop.
it's not like a story progressing there. It's just O and I cutting up
Yeah.
cadavers.
Honestly, I had thought that this episode was going to be Chief goes to Arendelle or whatever. Arendelle. Chief goes to Arendelle and hangs out with fucking Tangled or whatever. Let it go, whatever. Gets more on his feelings. I would love that. A little Halo and Frozen crossover. That'd be
Iridimus.
fucking hilarious.
Hey, if Doom Guy and whatever, what is that? Animal Crossing can do it. I don't see why they can't.
Yeah, like to me, it's like okay, as long as it works. If it works and it's good, that's fantastic.
Anyway, I didn't mean to laugh and
Lego.
throw you
Remember
off.
when Batman Lego? Like to me, it's like no, I want to see Batman versus his villains, but I guess Batman Lego worked out really well. It's just not my thing. No. So my thing was last week. I fully expected Lengoku Hunter attack on Magical and Soren's dead. That's what I thought. Or they were gonna switch it up, and she was gonna run into the asteroid weird place and murk those entire people. There's another thing, TV aspect that I haven't brought up, I don't think, that I can see coming after I rewatched one of the episodes. Do you remember when they moved the stupid pallet jack lifter thing
Yeah,
in his way, and he went dun 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 dun, and it wasn't Halo music, but it was like inspirational, and he moved it, and it was so it was like, oh wow, and it was silly and cringe.
He moved that forklift.
So that silly man works for Soren, and he is under Soren. But his wife was like, how come you keep taking his shit? How can we can't run shit? And it's like, you don't write that in a TV show if that's not a plot line. This dude needs to eventually come around and do something shitty. And that's just like a TV aspect, right? And there's little things like that I've been noticing as I've been rewatching like clips or something. Yeah. Is stuff like that. So, and all of that just comes from old TV stuff. The No Covenant thing here reminds me of a wrestling thing. Brock Lesnar is so expensive that the WWE goes, okay, we're not going to hire you to go week to week. You're just a big ticket item. We'll show you at the pay-per-views and maybe a couple weeks. If it's a big thing like SummerSlam or WrestleMania, we'll have you. But you're more of, we'll pay you when you're there because we cannot afford you all the time. And that's how I feel like that's why I feel like we didn't see Covenant this time, is because of the company going, well, we don't know, like they're shitting on it. Well, of course, in season 2, if they're developing it now, like that's my problem, is that I'm actually enjoying the show and I do want to see this show turn into a great show. It's unfortunate that so many Halo fans don't want to see that. They want to keep it to the games. They don't want to see that. With all of their actions, they don't want to see a TV show of Halo. They want another game that is most like 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
it's just strange to me.
Oh, I feel like I need to bring this up every week. Like people defending the games right and left. Oof, 343. Even like Bungie with Halo Reach. Like there was pushback there. This isn't Fall of Reach. What are these random Spartans that I'm following around? And then Halo 4 and Halo 5 came out, and they're like, "What is garbage?" Which Halo 5's biggest issue was its marketing. The story kind of sucked too. But anyway, like I was one of them that was like, "This is no. This is some whack ass Halo." And now the show comes out, and it's not the game. The games are perfect.
Or Star Wars. Like the prequels.
What are you on about?
I replayed the prequels of the Star Wars, and I was like, well, that wasn't so bad.
Halo Reach is Halo's 1 through 3 is the best.
But as a kid, I was like, fuck no, I want action. I like it when they're Jedi.
My favorite
all this political
is
stuff.
Halo 3.
Boring. Skip. But now as an adult, it's like I can appreciate it in a different light.
But Halo Reach's campaign is pretty solid.
Halo 2 is perfect.
Perfect? It does have pretty good storytelling.
I think Halo 2 is perfect.
That's my immediate go-to right now for the people who are like, well, it's not like the games. And it's like, motherfuckers, you guys don't even like the games. You guys are on Twitter right now saying how much you hate the current
Infinite
games.
sucks.
Is like, you guys don't even want the games. Why are you... again.
That's the funny thing that I follow actually on Reddit. Someone compiled a bunch of like tweets or in like Reddit posts and stuff, and it's basically what you guys were just saying. It shows people saying from each game, talking shit about that game, and then like it shows the exact same things on the comments that they said about the game before it. But at
Mm-hmm.
that point, when the game came out, they're like, "Oh no, like Reach is amazing. Halo 4 is stupid. I hate Halo 4." And then when Halo 5 comes out, Halo 4 was good. Halo 5 is really
So
really
much
dumb.
better.
And I'm hearing people now with like the Halo 5 versus Infinite. That's just always been Halo. Besides Halo 2, it's perfect. You can't say it's not because it is. But yeah, no, I don't know.
What did can I ask?
I
Because I
don't
don't
know.
think we've covered this a whole bunch. What did you feel about Kai and her arc throughout this episode? Because I think we covered Chief, and I think we
So
all kind of
She,
agree that that was good. And then we all kind of we all kind of agree that the Quan Ha stuff was maybe the weakest. What about the Kai thing? Because I
my
don't think we've
my
covered that
joke
much.
my joke response to that is I'm surprised they didn't get a cover of No Doubt I'm Just a Girl playing on every scene she was in, because she
Okay,
was discovering herself as a woman with
just touching
coloring her
herself.
hair and doing feminine stuff. But
Okay.
she's fine. Um I'm the actually what I was really thinking is like, holy shit, Derek's right, they gonna bang.
yeah, that was my first thought. I was like, oh no, they're going the love storyline. Here we
I
go.
went.
They
Oh,
gonna
with those
bang.
two, with Keys and
With
Kai.
no, with
No,
Chief
Oh,
and
Keys.
Kai.
oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, because
Because
all too
it's
many feelings.
if it's not Alien Lady, it's her.
because I don't know if you watched Angry Joe's show's review of it. I was on other Joe's camp where it's like, oh, she's scheming to get like back at Chief, like she's gonna rat on him, and it's gonna be an antagonist. Nope,
Mhm.
love
No,
interest.
yeah, again, like
Nope.
to me, this is like me watching a lot of TV. She's just not saying those lines, right?
Yeah,
Who is saying those lines? Like
but
Halsey or Riz or Vanek.
right.
Those two, I could possibly be seeing. Like, I could see a tag team match. I could see those two going up against Chief and Kai.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Eventually, they'll be on the same page, but I can see them
For
having
me,
a little bit of a
it's
scrum.
yeah, she's hardcore. I don't really foresee her losing her chip, or even if she does lose her chip, I don't really think she's gonna change much.
I,
She's kind of
I
like the cold stoic Donatello of the group. She
See,
just
I had seen that same opinion of Vanek, and I thought that's fucking hilarious. Let's do that. Where they do pull out their chips, and
yeah,
then
like
Riz is like, wow, this is cool. And she could be a little bit more badass. And then Vanek goes, I don't feel any different. Like, that would be
Yeah,
funny to me.
I'm the same.
So,
It would be. To answer your question, though, there were moments with her that I felt it was awkward. I'm not gonna
yeah,
like
I
she's
agree.
greasing her gun, and then her first thought is put it in
I'm
my
putting in
hair.
my hair.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had gum. I have. I don't know if you've ever had gum put in your hair. It sucks ass to get out. I cannot imagine grease,
Oh,
hydrophobic,
it's no.
and trying to get it out of your hair. You know what I mean? Like that was like, okay, what am I watching
Well,
here? But then
the
everything else
thing
with her, sure, I liked it.
the thing you didn't realize is that was actually a L'Oreal product, and
It was something that I just was like, what are we doing? We're putting grease in our
So,
hair? Okay.
immediately in my head, again, like a TV thing, I was like, oh, okay, I see. Halsey's pretty much the surrogate mother, and now her stepsister, who's always been Bruno, because we've been talking about Bruno a bit, is just an outcast, and she's like, well, basically we're sisters, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So they're gonna like learn from each other, and I was with you on that until she acknowledged that she fucked up. Because then it goes to the small arc. Like I would count this as a small arc. We start the episode with her pulling out
Oh,
her
where
chip.
she says I shouldn't have put it in my hair. Is that
Yes,
what you're
yeah,
talking
that's
about?
like a full that's like a full of like she's maturing quickly. I think I had seen somebody and I don't remember exactly who because I've been watching like nonstop Halo reviews all day just to kind of see where people are landing and how they're combating some of the points that I was combating on Twitter and things. One of the thing I really liked that I just didn't pick up on. One of them was the Quan Ha stuff that brought back the line that she had said to Chief, and then Chief said it to Cortana. I was like, that's great. And then Kai, same thing where she starts out and then she's just like a petulant child. She's like being kind of pushy towards Key and the other Spartans. I mean, I guess they don't notice it or anything.
Yeah.
That's TV shit that I'm like, that's dumb. They should notice. But that's I mean,
well,
these humans are
especially
stupid.
how much money they have put into these Spartans, you would think that they would like be observing them, and they're
Yeah.
But then again, they do say Spartans are supposed to be bonded to each other, so they would never go against each other, right? So it's like I guess they've kind of
It
worked that into. But the whole arc is her basically maturing throughout the episode
Yeah.
and coming into adulthood. When she dyed her hair, that's like her teenage rebellious
Yeah.
phase.
Yeah.
When
Yep.
she dyed her hair. So it's like, yes, is it a little heavy on the nose? Yes. But if
Yep.
there's any women watching, doubtful, but if there's any women
Oh my
watching,
gosh.
they love that shit.
I just had
You can
an
talk your shit
epiphany.
about the end game all women's thing because it is cringe and weird and woke, but you have no idea how loud those cheers were when it happened. Like the
All right,
people were just going
you know
nuts.
what would listen, I'm calling it right now, okay? I don't think it's been talked about. This should I haven't heard anyone say this. I think this is original. Hear me now.
Go for it.
Kai and Alien Chick
Low Ren.
are gonna hook up.
Oh God. Ooh,
And
I
the
had a thought
world
about Alien Chick actually.
the internet's gonna
Maki.
Maki, yeah. Uh maybe.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe because
Theories.
But
Here's the theory.
throwing
Oh,
it
go
out
ahead,
there.
Derek. You have a thought. I can remember my theory. Or did you not
oh,
have a thought, Derek?
oh no, go ahead. I'll remember.
So
It's about Monkey,
along
but
the lines of theories, I've changed my mind. I don't think they're gonna do the cloning children. I actually think I killed. It's very heavy with Chief, like where's my dad, where's my mom, and then like showing the dad and mom and dog. I think I killed the parents of the children that they abducted. I think they are the plague.
yeah, and the story
Yeah.
of them like, oh, she gave us pets just so that we had to kill them. Like all of that shit. Like this is like crazy Nazi stuff. Like
Yeah, it's cuckoo
Jojo. Like you
bananas.
remember Jojo Rabbit?
Uh-huh. Yep.
It's
Hey,
that. It's that.
that's my third favorite scene. Vanek had a pig. I like that visual.
I never lost,
That visual.
but I killed my pig anyway.
And he didn't give a fuck. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, I actually kind of like that. That's a not nice guy's thing to say, but it works with him. It
All
works
right,
for him.
we need to start a poll. What kind of animal did Chief have? I'm gonna go with
Dog.
Yeah, probably a dog.
no, we already had a puppy, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
go with
yeah.
like
Goldfish.
You
It'd be so sad.
I don't know. I don't know. A bunny.
uh,
What's a lucky
ooh,
animal? A
what
panda.
ferret. I'm gonna say ferret.
He had a
ferret.
panda. Confirmed.
Ooh.
Because luck. Or a cat. Oh,
Or an
little-
elephant.
Are elephants deemed lucky? I thought
Oh,
they're
well.
wise.
A dolphin.
Anyway.
Chief wrote a dolphin.
Are we okay, so
Yeah.
Maki real quick, because
Yeah.
she's another character who I don't see a future for after her actions last week. After she went on a crazy murder spree of a bunch of military people, I'm not sure how you can ever redeem her, so I feel like she has to go. In terms of like she has to die. Like I'm pretty
Oh.
sure someone has to kill her. Whereas like earlier in
Sure.
the season I thought you could probably turn her and make her, oh, I was Elizabeth Smart. I'm retracting that now because I think that she is not Elizabeth. She chose an action to actively side with the aliens.
Yeah, and I think they kind of show that, one, when she makes the remark about how ugly humans are, and then two, with her backstory of humanity being absolutely monsters to her as a child, right? Like,
Right. Yeah.
I think that's what they're setting up. I don't think she's going to die anytime soon. If she does die anytime soon, that's kind of a waste of having a human in the Covenant. Which goes
Right,
back
I
to me
just-
saying, like, I hate how in the games they use a dead body or, like, Johnson's hand to push all this stuff, and that's how they get around it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. Just chop off a human's arm and carry that in your pocket everywhere you go so you can use the damn artifacts.
Yes. Who knows?
But yeah.
Did you have any
yeah,
thoughts
it'd be
about
interesting.
Maki, Aries?
About Maki?
Yeah. Like we were just going, well, we think that it might be this way.
Yeah,
Did you have
she's
any?
gonna have a fling. She's gonna have a fling with.
Oh, yeah, that's
Kai.
right.
That's my theory because she's exploring all of her sides, and Chief doesn't really seem to be interested in that. All too
There's
much.
another girl Spartan.
Yeah.
Riz?
Oh, yeah, she's gonna...
Yeah.
take
well,
out
I
her
don't
ship.
think- but
I
the
don't
reason I
think
say
they're-
that,
I don't think
the
she's
reason I say
lesbian.
that is because, I mean, it's a very weak case, but like she was interested in some form of intimacy at one point with like that little boy, just like kissing. Maybe she'll be interested in that again, and like we're seeing like Kai is really exploring like, oh, I like this, and she's really figuring out who she is as a person. All we've seen with Chief is like, I got memories, I gotta figure, like he still is on a mission that hasn't changed. With without his chip, it's all about the mission still. He doesn't really seem to be interested in anything else, which is fine. And so like I mean I could be wrong, but I don't really actually see them hooking up.
The
Eh,
the, o-
But
the
there's gonna be something. I think we will get some Spartan on Covenant action.
Wait, in a sexual way?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about Maki specifically,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Oh,
okay, okay.
well,
I was just being sure.
that's
I was
still
like, I
human
was
on human.
because she is part of the Covenant. One thing
gotcha.
I
I
will
see, I
say
see, I see.
though, just this is nitpicky, how I feel. I would have liked it better if they still would have went with a more indoctrinated approach with the Spartans rather than the chips, because I think that would have correlated better with like Maki, because she has made a decision based off of her experience, and like the Spartans make their decisions regardless of like their experience, and they've been indoctrinated in this program and stuff. And I could see how like their arcs are parallel. I would have liked that a little bit more, where like the chip's gone. And so like they can still do it. I like the indoctrination approach better, because I feel like it's a better coming to hero moment. Um and like, really figuring that out. But it's just a
Mhm.
small nitpick. It's what it is. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, more
yeah,
Maki, more hunters, more jackals, more grunts.
More
Give me any of that.
fingerprint energy sword, or not fingerprint, fingernail
That
energy
yeah,
that was
sword.
badass.
I hated
That was
that.
badass. No,
I
I
really
thought that
hated
was
it.
cool. That was cool. You got a Lady Wolverine. You got Lady
Eh,
Wolverine doing some crazy shit with the swords. That's cool. What was
Oh,
stupid is the Lengoku had that dude wrapped up and he like blocked it. It was really
eh,
weird. I
eh,
like
and it
if I
goes through
wasn't
his hand.
reacting, I was gonna yeah, like I was so confused. I was like, wait, what? What just happened there? But because I was
I
reacting
don't
live, I couldn't stop it. But no, I like the idea of
have
hey, we're
any
gonna take the
energy
energy
sword.
sword because she's a girl and we're gonna make them nails. That's badass. If you're a chick and you're watching this,
Nail.
nail. There might be more. Who knows? Who knows? She's badass. And if you're a
her
chick
teeth.
who goes, "Oh damn!" Like they have that assassin chick in this episode,
Uh
which
huh.
I usually hate when they do that. They did that in Moon Knight last night with the Midnight guy, and it didn't work for me. But they did it here with this chick, and it worked with me because she had some badass stunts.
You
She
reminded
was
me of
going through
Fennec.
fucking people up. Yes, she was doing some cool shit, and I was like, damn. Sometimes these characters come off as Miss Marvel or whatever, but
Mm.
these women characters are not coming off like that. Maybe Maki a little bit, but maybe on a villain side. But I'm just not sensing it like I usually sense it. Whoever is writing these characters is doing it in a good way that I don't feel is worthy of having that woke title attached to it. At
This
least
this
not nearly as much as
I
other stuff that I've seen.
this will be my last comment. I've given my rating. But yeah, I want to see episode 5. I will parrot what Mikey said. I'm waiting for that moment of, the build up. I want to see more action. I thought the episode 1, the action was awesome. I'm like, oh, the show's gonna be so cool. I was just smiling the entire time during that entire sequence. Um, I want more of that. And I'm glad that we could figure things out between you and I, Derek. I apologize once again, but like moving forward, we're just gonna have fun. It's gonna be Halo. We're gonna talk about Halo. Everyone be nice to each other, like on the internet. It's just a TV show.
I
Yeah.
I really hope they delve deeper into the energy sword fingernail. It reminds me a lot of
I need all
Kylo
the
Ren's
lore.
crossguard, and just like
Yeah.
how in the
Yeah, yeah.
world do you control that? Like if you're picking your nose, you're dead. Like scratching your head, you're dead. Like how? What are we doing here? If it's just
So
for
those
like
toys.
for effect, like ooh, look at this. Nah. Just have her use an energy sword. Honestly, that would have been way more badass to me if she just would have been like, and then chops him in half. But instead, it's
Pulled out
fingernail
like a
sword
letter
to the head.
opener.
It's okay, whatever. It happened. Keep on, keep it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. They need to have letter opener lightsabers or energy swords. That'd be cool.
She doesn't need it. She had it in her fingernail.
Yeah.
I thought it was badass. Yeah.
Or
If it
like
was a
Wild
if it was
West
an
with
available
Will
weapon, I would have
Smith
done
stomping his boot down and a little dagger comes out. It's like, what is the practicality of that? You're in a battle, you're not gonna Wolverine scratch. Of course, if she's going against those Marines who just forget she exists and don't fire at her at all. Anyway, like, the
Do you
practicality
wanna
of it is
I
just.
can see the practicality. I have something that just popped in my head that I
Oh boy,
imagine
here,
I could
yeah.
write.
Yeah, let's.
Okay.
She's an
You've got the
assassin.
Homaki. You've got the Homaki who can walk amongst the humans like nobody else. She is going to go up to Riz or Vanek or probably maybe not Soren because Soren's married. I could imagine her tempting Chief away
Ah,
and Kai trying to pull Chief this way and saying no, she's a Covenant, and Chief going, but she's also human. She can change. We
dead
change.
ass
Like
though.
yeah, exactly. Like an attraction could be there. That could be the case. And then maybe they
Oh
do
my
have an
gosh, we
attraction.
have seen four asses, haven't we? I forgot
Yeah,
Yes,
about her ass.
and
yeah,
maybe they have maybe they do have that romantic thing. This could be a thing. And then as they're hugging, she like stabs somebody. You know what I mean? Like she
yeah.
could like I have no idea why they made the little sword finger. I assume it's
Yeah,
just
that's
because she's a girl evil person, and that would look bad. Like somebody said, oh, that would look cool, and it doesn't work for everybody.
yeah,
I thought it was cool.
yeah. Just show me a little bit more. You know.
We'll see.
Let her
Yep.
open her.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else.
Halo 6. If it's not in Halo 6, I rage.